Oh, the Bears lose by 7 and it's a good performance, and the Hawks lose by 6 and it's a disaster. Talk about a double standard. We'll break it down next on a CHGO Blackhawks postgame show. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks post-game podcast presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And boy, that was not an ordinary loss. Hawks lose 7-1 in Anaheim. And whatever metric you want to look at, go for it. This was an ass-kicking from start to finish. Final tally, shots on goal 53-20 in favor of the Anaheim Ducks, and that was a very accurate depiction of how this game went. The Blackhawks had very little fight, very little jump, very little structure. Arvid Soderblom gave up 7 goals on 53 shots and had a positive expected goals saved.
And his save percentage went up somehow.
That will tell you how bad this game was. It was absolutely horrible. There is nothing good to take away from this game at all. So let's go. Have at it. Where do you want to begin?
Here's something that makes that stat even worse. 53-20 shots on goal. Out of those 20 shots on goal, 9 came from forwards. 9 shots from forwards in 60 minutes of hockey is pitiful.
Yep.
Pitiful. And that's all I got to say about that. Pitiful.
Perhaps pass more.
He was a goalie.
He was a goalie, yes.
Maybe he would have helped them tonight, but they still got to score more than one goal.
Underappreciated Blackhawks goaltender, Steve Passmore. He was a very solid backup with a Matt LaFleur-esque goatee. But it was the 90s, so it was okay then.
53 shots on goal for the Ducks. 50 scoring chances to the Blackhawks 11. Jeez-a-loo. 72 Fenwick, which is shots on Soch towards the net, unblocked. 87 shot attempts. 28 high danger chances to the Blackhawks 3.
They had 28 high danger chances. The Hawks had 20 shots.
I've never seen the money puck deserve to win-o-meter at 98% for a team, and it wasn't a mathematical glitch.
No.
It might have been a little low, though.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
I agree.
I wonder if it could have been 100%,
it should have been. Just everything we talked about in the pregame show of bounce back effort, find your, you're on night 2 of a back-to-back. You have to find that extra gear. You have to find that B game, as we've heard from this group a number of times. Having something to prove after the Kings loss and going up against the Ducks, getting out to a fast start, nothing. None of it. No jump, nothing. No fight, no execution. A couple of nights ago, the first thing I said on this show after they beat the Kings 2-1 was that was a big balls win. They didn't have their balls tonight.
No.
And it showed.
I left my balls in crypto.com arena.
Really, no,
Tony
it's Honda Center or wherever the Ducks play now.
Right, they left them in LA.
Yeah, that's true.
They never showed up there.
I was giving as much effort as the Hawks gave tonight.
Good job.
Just pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. This is an effort where you have to question your DNA. It's not even the term of gut check. It's like you don't have any gut, you don't have any balls in this game. It's really bad. It's really bad. The Kings game, I feel like we gave a little bit of a pass because of how things had been going. Can't have this effort after that Kings game. You can't. I don't care. I don't care if it's night 2 of back-to-backs. I don't care if it's the end of the road trip. I don't care. You're in the NHL. Figure it out. You cannot go an NHL game with, what did you say? 9 shots from forwards. Just hanging Arvid Soderblom out to dry. This is a Ducks team that got ran 7-0, as you said in the pregame. They got ran 7-0 in their last game.
2 games ago.
2 games ago.
They beat the Caps.
It happens, right? Those games happen. You can't have it happen like this twice in a row, 2 nights like this, and you have this. You have the stat Ben Pope tweeted out about Hawks haven't lost consecutive games like this since the 50s. No team has lost games like this since the Atlanta Thrashers, which don't exist anymore.
On consecutive nights.
On consecutive nights. Like, pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. I know they have an off day tomorrow. I'd skate them until they throw up. It's inexcusable.
I mean, I don't want to hear either from Jeff Blashill after the game that they were tired. And look, they're not the only team in the league that plays back-to-back games. It happens all the time, and teams have better responses than this. And it's just, I said in the pregame that I think this team has more character than they come out and just get their asses kicked today. And you could even live with like a 5-2 loss if the battle was there and they just run out of gas. No, there was 0 engagement from the Blackhawks in this game. 0. And I actually felt bad for Soderblom because he was in there battling, doing everything he could do.
Yeah. And
just no one was there to win a race to a corner or to chase down a puck or to be physical in front of the net or lay a big check. Or we all were exasperated in the pregame because Colton Dach might be scratched. Maybe when it's 2-0 or 3-0, find a Duck and start punching them. I'm sorry. Isn't that the argument for why fighting is still allowed in hockey? Mm-hmm. It turns momentum and it rallies the team. Where is it?
There wasn't any.
You've lost 13-1 over the last 2 games. You can't find a Duck and punch him? Mm-hmm. Go drop the gloves with Radko Gudas. He'll engage you. He might kick your ass, but it's going to wake your team up.
All right.
It's just, there was nothing. Name me a solid hit that a Blackhawk laid in this game. 1. Tell me one Duck that felt an ounce of pain from start to finish in this game. I can't recall a single solid body check from a Blackhawk in this game.
Frank Vetrano took that shot off the outside of his knee. That's probably the most pain a Duck felt
from a puck, not from a Hawk.
Right.
And I think it was friendly fire. So, because I doubt it was a Hawk shot attempt. There were like 6 of them.
Yeah.
So that's to me is, look, when things are falling apart, when things aren't going well, you've got to find something. You've got to find some sort of rallying cry. There's got to be somebody on that bench that says, you know what? I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go. If I get my ass kicked, so be it. But I'm going to go and do it. Nobody. Nothing. Crickets from top to bottom on that bench. And that to me is the most frustrating thing. Like we've said, before the season, setting expectations, talking about point totals, all that stuff, all we wanted was competitive games every night. Results kind of be damned. And look, our mindset changed as they had some early success. But what you thought you would get from this team night after night was a solid effort. You had it for 20 minutes against the Kings. You had it for 0 minutes against the Ducks. There's no excuse for that. And look, if they practice tomorrow, it would shock me because they're probably not going to land until 3 or 4 a.m. Chicago time. But tough crap. I don't know. And, Nick Foligno, as Tristan Denny says in the chat, Fliggy would have fought after the 3rd goal. It can't be on Foligno every time to do it. Oh, he is 37 years old.
38.
He's no longer on the team because he's been hurt. I'm sorry. You can't wait for Nick Foligno to come back to have fight. I'm sorry. You can't. Yeah. That's just not, it's not a fair expectation to him. It's not, and it just, I don't know. To me, Colton Dach, where are you? Connor Murphy, where are you? Anyone in white, where were you in this game when momentum needed swinging? Because that's everyone has told me that fighting is great and it needs to stay in the game and head injuries be damned and concussions and research be damned because it turns momentum and it rallies the boys. Anyone? Yeah, it wasn't. Anyone want to believe in that on the Hawks? Apparently not. I don't know. Even if you don't fight somebody, find somebody in a corner and lay their ass out. If you take a roughing penalty, great. Just show some sort of fight, and there was nothing. It was piss poor, and it was embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm. When you don't have the jump in your game, when your roster in your lineup is predicated on speed, and and you don't have it, then you gotta resort to something else. And I agree. It can't be Nick Foligno being the sole factor of, oh, this is the team's heart. Like, these guys have been around Nick Foligno enough. Some of these young guys, like, they should be able to have learned that lesson and have had that rub off on them a little bit. Colton Dock talked about, being around Pat Maroon last season. Pat Maroon probably would have been a guy that
100%
in this game would have done something, even if you drop the gloves and nothing, and you still lose 7-1, it's at least the illusion of GAF.
Yep.
And the meter was as low as the deserve to win meter was tonight. And that's just inexcusable. Here's some more historical context from Scott Powers. It says the Blackhawks 12.0 expected goals percentage at 5-on-5 tonight was the second lowest of any NHL game in a game this season, according to Natural Stat Trick. They also finished with the lowest 5-on-5 scoring chance percentage and tied for the worst high danger percentage. That'll happen when you have 3 high danger chances against 28.
Last night after the game, we mentioned Hockey Stat Cards does the game scores, and they send out the lines. You can find those on Hockey Stat Cards on Twitter, and they're all bad for the Hawks, but it's ranked by player score. So it's usually like the teams are all mixed up. Who are the best players? Tonight, it is the Ducks roster, then the Hawks roster. So there was not one single Blackhawk that had a better game than any Duck.
And you know what? If you watch the game, that would be a confirmation of that.
I don't know. This is one, like, I'm throwing my hands up here. Like,
and you know who was the best Hawk tonight? Oliver Moore.
Yep.
Again, if we were going to give out game pucks, I bet he'd win it. But we're not going to because they don't deserve it.
No, they're not going to game pucks.
That was the only.
We also withheld the juice boxes and orange slices from the team.
That was the only line that had a even possession line tonight that played any significant time together. They had exactly 50% Corsi.
Yeah, it's
the thing that has got me is all, like, for the last 5 periods, because the first period last night in LA they played a really good period.
Yep.
They were the better team. And then all of a sudden, for the last 5 periods, there's no structure. It's 5 guys out there going in the business for themselves, skating around. And there's no structure left. And we've applauded this team for how well they've played within the system all season long, even when things weren't going their way. You've got guys skating out of position constantly, guys getting lost in defensive coverage because they're, it's just all of a sudden the attention to detail went out the window for 5 straight periods.
Yep.
No structure, no vision on the ice. Nobody's looking, like they know what they're doing out there. They get into the offensive zone and they're just looking to pass. They're passing to nobody. Just the simple, when things aren't going your way and you're getting owned on the ice, that's when you simplify things. Just go make a simple play, win a shift, and then win and go from there. There was none of that the last 5 periods.
Shift. Yep.
And the second half of a back-to-back is a BS excuse. It's garbage. If anybody uses it, you're lying to yourself, because how many the Blackhawks have lost?
If you lose 4-2 in a tough battle and you give up 2 late goals because your dog
I don't want to hear
fine.
Every team plays team plays back-to-backs. And the Blackhawks have lost 2 games this season to teams playing on the second half of the back-to-back. So that is a BS excuse, and nobody should be using that. And, as far as I get what you're saying, Jay, about the fighting and lay out a hit, to me, it starts with winning stick battles, winning puck races. There was none of that. So if you're not willing to win a one-on-one board battle and you're not winning foot races, I mean, what's the point of fighting somebody? You're obviously not into it. They were not into these last 5 periods, not mentally into it. That's inexcusable.
Well,
inexcusable.
So you start the third period and you're shorthanded. So whatever, fine. This is the 6th goal if you've lost track. 15 seconds into the third, the Hawks give up a goal to Leo Carlsson. And it is Dickinson, Mikheyev, Vlasic, and Murphy. You've got Murphy and Dickinson chasing hits on the penalty kill. Both of them fly way over to the right wing boards. The other 2 Hawks are on the other side of the ice, and Leo Carlsson's like, thank you very much. These are the 4 guys whose job it is to not get scored on. And again, power play, fine. If they're in their structure and the Ducks make a great play or they get a man in front because they have the man advantage, fine. But you have guys running around, the veteran players on this team that are supposed to set the example, that are supposed to show the young players how to play, completely lose their structure in 15 seconds into the period where there's a glimmer. Like the faintest, that 1.8% deserved a win-o-meter was right there for him. That 1.8% was right there. In 15 seconds into the period, you give up a goal because the guys that are on this team to not lose their structure. It was indicative of the entire game. The entire game was that way. All right, we're late for the break zone. We are going to hit it. Make sure you hit that like button if you've not done it yet. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page as well. We'll be back in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks. And the holidays are approaching. You need a last-minute gift, and sometimes buying for mom or dad or your aunt and uncle, grandma, grandpa can be very, very difficult. I'm going to personally recommend to you that you get an Aura frame. You can upload photos, upload videos. You can actually do that before the product even ships. If you choose to ship it so it shows up preloaded, you can do it from your phone. You can give everyone in your family the way to send it so they can upload their own photos. It's a great gift, and it's something that keeps your parents and grandparents happy for a long time. For a limited time, you can save on an Aura frame by going to auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames. Named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code CHGO at checkout. That's auraframes.com. Promo code CHGO. This deal is exclusive to our listeners, and frames sell out fast, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
If you didn't know, it's Blackhawks and Bulls season on Chicago Sports Network. That is can't miss television. Visit chsn.com/podcast to sign up for your 7-day free trial of the All Access plan, which gives you over 300 live games per year. You can catch every basket and every goal from your mobile device, television, or wherever you want to watch. CHSN is your home for the Blackhawks and Bulls all season long. Chicago Sports Network is your home stream advantage. CHSN is also available on Xfinity, DirecTV, DirecTV Stream, and Fubo. You can visit chsn.com for more details about how to watch the Blackhawks and Bulls this season. And not just Blackhawks and Bulls, also White Sox.
That's some good sports right there.
At CHSN.
Take my money for all that world-class action.
All right, we are back. Do us a favor. If you've not hit that like button for us, let's get to some super chats here. We've got a number of them we got to get to. By the way, there were a couple last night that we missed. Apologies for that. We'll make sure we mention your names later on in the show. But thank you so much for last night's super
History
chats.
Racer and Connor Del Rio.
Alberto's brother
sent us in a combined $4 for super chat. Sorry that we missed those last night. And also shout out to Steve, our friend in Scotland, who said that had some nice things to say about catching the show. He's been going through some tough times, so our thoughts are out with the Steve out there. Hopefully you saved yourself from this game tonight.
Yeah, 100%. All right, $20 super chat from Z Vieira Fishing. Says, huge fan of the pod, watching for 3 years now, not usually active in the chat due to my job. I'm from Boston, hate the Bruins, and finally taking a trip to Chicago for a week in January to see Edmonton and Calgary games. Top 3 places to eat. We each pick one?
Hey, do we want to spend the next 40 minutes of the show debating the top 3 places to eat in Chicago?
It's a lot better than talking about this crap tackle game we just had to watch.
I will give you my favorite places around the United Center. JP Graziano on Randolph and Peoria. Go get an Italian sub, get a Mr. G. That's for lunch because they are closed for dinner hours, but that is a Chicago institution. It is the best sandwich, I think, in the world, definitely in the city. So I get the Italian with the hot giardiniera, but do you? The Mr. Gia's are most famous, but everything there is fantastic. So I'd recommend that. I love Rinaldi's right here on Randolph, a couple blocks west of Racine, or I'm sorry, west. Yeah, west of Racine. And of course, Crossroads. We're going to have our pre-takeover happy hour coming up on Saturday. Those are some of the really good spots right near the United Center.
Yeah, as far as around the United Center, a nice place for a pregame meal because you can get really good food pretty quickly is Pompeii.
Oh yeah, Taylor.
Taylor Street. They've got, it's almost like a cafeteria, like like really good Italian food in a cafeteria setting. It's really good. So I would recommend a trip to Pompeii before one of those games.
Yes.
I've heard. I'm still trying to carve out time to get there, but I've heard only amazing things about Tivoli Tavern out here. That's a really nice spot. Small Cheval.
Yeah,
it's a great
small
place.
or all.
That's those are both good places to go. The small one is easier to get into than the all one. And third one, I mean, I don't know where your location is going to be for your stay here, but if you are on the north side of town and you want a really good burger, go to Bad Apple Burger in North Center. I can't recommend that place enough.
I want to shout out one more place too, by the way, because you mentioned Tivoli, which is right there in that Green Street, like cobblestone, which is right by Graziano, by the way.
It's a very cool area.
High Five Ramen is kind of like a speakeasy. There's a door you would not even know is a restaurant. You have to kind of know it's there, and there's maybe 10 seats in the entire place, but the best ramen in the city, amazing cocktails. So if you can get in there, I highly recommend it. If you try to go kind of before, like between like 5 and 5:30, you can usually get a seat in there. But after that, especially on a weekend, you're screwed.
Yeah.
But High Five Ramen is fantastic.
Don't try getting a seat there between 6 and 7.
Yeah, you're in like the best food town in the world, so you're gonna be fine.
Don't worry about it. It's gonna be harder to find a bad spot than it is to find a good spot.
Absolutely.
All right, $5 from Madhouse Meek. Says funds for new retinas or the men in black flash thing. Hashtag Shady
You know what?
Didn't Big Dave used to have one of those hang around
he
the
did.
studio?
Dave's got one somewhere. As bad as tonight was, this was far from the worst Blackhawks games we've had to watch together since
That's
CHGO
true.
started. It wasn't the worst.
It's up there. It's top 10.
I mean, what would be the worst?
I don't know.
Some
But
of
there's
those.
been
Jujar on the power
there's
play.
been some awful hockey we've had to watch over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, this is on the list of worst games, but it's not the
it's
worst.
pretty bad. It's pretty
bad. It's
The
the worst game
analytics-
this season.
I don't know if I've ever seen a money puck game where a team was 98.5% favored to win. I would have to say that goes in my Hall of Fame.
I'm going to go on a limb and say this will be the worst game of the year too.
I certainly hope.
I don't think we're going to
hope
see
so.
this again.
I would not. I would hope not.
That's the thing that kind of peeves me even more about the last two games. And as a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people online are having the same kind of reaction, like, "Oh, here comes Gavin McKenna, and see, we told you this team was ass." And it's just like, no, like this. I look, these last two games were really bad efforts collectively, and especially tonight. Last night, it's surprising to say, wasn't the worst effort of the weekend from this team. But this is not the norm from this team.
Right.
If this was the same season as we saw last year, where they had 8 wins by this time last year compared to 12 this season, if they were dead last in the league, getting waxed like this, it'd be like, yeah, of course. I'm watching every Penn State game. I'm watching Gavin McKenna. I'm watching Ethan Belchatz. I'm watching all these guys. I'm signing up for the Flow Hockey to watch SHL games because I'm trying to get tape on Ivar Semberg. I haven't. To be completely transparent, I've done almost zero research on the 2026 draft class because of how this season has gone. And I'm like, I feel like I don't need to care about where they're landing in the top 5 of the lottery or anything like that, unless it's the Panthers pick. But I don't think these two performances are the snapshot of this season. I think you can take over a dozen performances that they've had this year where you're like, that's proof of they're a better team. And I know analytics, they were riding a huge PDO wave, but I still think there's still the micro analytics of their game, the way they play, the style they play, more often than not is going to be competitive for this group. But it requires effort, and it requires care, and it requires engagement in the game, and it requires finding some sort of, down in your stomach, here's some game I can play at the NHL level that's going to be effective. If it's not your A game and you're not lighting up the score sheet, or you're not super effective at all three phases of the game or anything like that, your B game has to stand for be effective. How are you going to find a way to be effective in this game if you're not scoring, if you're not making plays? Like, are you going to block shots? Are you going to throw down? Are you going to make sure that, you're smart with your puck decisions? Like, each one of these players' A game doesn't have to be, I'm going to go out and score a hat trick. Like, you have to start to find other ways to impact the game. And for some of these guys, your biggest impact in the game, like a guy like Oliver Moore, your biggest impact in the game is just your effort level. Like, just being hard on pucks, being hard on the forecheck, being a pain in the butt to play against just because of your energy and your effort level is high. These guys got to find it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Ben Pope had a tongue-in-cheek tweet after the second period along those lines, saying this is just a ploy by the Blackhawks to get their goal differential aligned with their expected goal differential so they can go back to overachieving without it being statistically improbable.
There you go. Cool.
All part of the plan.
But as you were saying, like, these last two games are frustrating because of how well they've played for much of the year.
Yeah.
We know that they're better than what we've seen. We know that this team, is still a ways away from being a serious contender. We know this team is still very young, and we know this team isn't, where they're going to get just yet, but they have been able to overcome that with maximum effort most nights, with playing within the structure, with continuing the battle, sticking to game plans, all that stuff. And we haven't seen that in the last 5 periods. That's what makes these two losses frustrating. You lose back-to-back games on the road to LA and Anaheim, fine. That's going to happen. But to just get the ever-living crap kicked out of you and embarrassed, they have to do something. Hopefully they're embarrassed.
You'd hope so.
Hopefully, here's the thing. And we knew it was going to, at least I knew it was going to come to this point at some point this season. You have to stop, as a team, you have to stop relying on Spencer Knight and Connor Bedard to bail your ass out every night.
Yep.
Somebody else needs to say, tonight is the night I go win us a hockey game.
Yep.
You know what's crazy? If they had put in a better effort in front of Arvid Soderblom today, he probably gives them a better chance the way that he was playing. He was hung out to dry on a couple of those.
Yeah, he was fantastic in the first period.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, he was absolutely fantastic. I feel bad for Arvid Soderblom because, people are going to see he gave up 7, and we're going to get, why are we trading Laurent Brossoit when Soderblom sucks? This was not on him tonight. Sure, he gave up a couple of goals he'd probably like back, but the dude made a career high in saves in a game he gave up 7 goals.
And just there's a couple of comments about the Hawks are still absolutely in rebuild mode, and you guys are kidding yourselves, and blah 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 blah. We're not out of that. Tanvers is among them. Okay, whether we agree on that or not, has Kyle Davidson deviated from, has he gone and traded a bunch of prospects for help right now to get over the playoff hump? No. He said he would consider keeping Dickinson and Murphy if they were in a true playoff hunt at the deadline. He didn't say he's going to. They have 2 first-round picks this year. They're loaded with draft stock. So I don't understand if you think this team sucks. Are you just going to come in here every night and remind us that they suck and just do that until the draft? Because Davidson has done nothing to stray from the path that half the chat seems to desire. Is the path? It still is the path. No one is saying abandon the rebuild. Bye. No one is saying that. What we're saying is this team has shown this year they're beyond the point of, let's just go out and fill gaps, for a couple of years, bring in Pat Maroons and Alec Martinez's and that sort of thing, and then just like hope for the best and see what happens, and the results of the game don't matter. Let's hope we get a draft lottery spot. They're past that. You've got Connor Bedard having an MVP type season. You've got your franchise goalie. You've got the third youngest team in hockey. They've promoted the prospects that are going to be part of things here. Is it complete? Of course not. Are all the pieces that are going to be here when they are contending for Stanley Cups here yet? Of course not. Again, 2 more first-round picks this year, one of which is the Florida Panthers, who are near the bottom of the Eastern Conference. You have the number 3 overall pick from last year's draft, and Anton Frondell, not here yet. You've got the KHL's leading scorer, and Roman Kantarov, not here yet. You've got the WHL's leading scorer, or the OHL's leading scorer, not here yet.
WHL's like second leading
You've
scorer.
got Nick Lardis, who's lighting it up in Rockford after lighting up in the OHL, not here yet. There's still help on the way. And AKZ Dino, as he says, every show says a lot of these prospects will not pan out.
He's here.
Every loss, right.
But
yes, we know every prospect won't pan out. That's why they have 1 million picks. That's the point. That's why he's not trading draft picks. And he's drafting 2, 3 first-round picks every year. Did they have 3 first-round picks last year? 3, and they have 2 this year. What do you want? Instead of coming in here and being like, LOL, these prospects won't pan out. What is your plan? Tell me the alternative.
We'll have to get his own show. He can tell us.
Sign free agents, apparently.
Well, but that would be abandoning the rebuild. What's the point? All these prospects are going to suck. Why would you sign free agents?
Let's trade Nick Lardis for Steven Stamkos.
There is nothing easier than being a cynical pud. It is the easiest thing to be in the world. If you want to do it, go nuts. It's just so dumb that you've got your prospects here ahead of who is not ahead of schedule prospect wise. Renzel's here before you thought. Levshnaw's here before you thought. Moore's here before you thought. Nazar, you probably thought realistically was going to start this year. Had a really good year last year. Bedard is having an MVP type season. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what is the alternative then? If you're going to come in here and say, these prospects aren't going to pan out and they need more, great. You've got 2 first-round picks so far in the next draft. What are we talking about? Give me the alternative. I'm just so tired of it. There's nothing easier than coming in here and being like, told you they suck. Great. Bully for you. Do you feel better now? Do you feel better? It is so easy to be a cynical putz. I hate it. It's so annoying. Go away. Break time. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, it's break time.
Do I have to wait for the flicky? There we go. Whatever the sport, the app to bet is Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits. That's good. Low holds. That's good. I don't know what these things mean, to be honest with you. An exceptional customer service, but betting people tell me those are good things. And if they were bad things, they probably wouldn't be in the copy. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, in-game. Circa Sports has it all. And the best part is you can fund and bet like a pro anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Tough one for the Bears this week, but they got the Browns next week. I'm putting the mortgage on the Bears.
Oh, okay.
Anger, revenge game for the Bears, even though they don't really have revenge against the Browns. Does anyone really?
My couch is available in case you lose that bet.
All right, fair enough. Download your new bookie today.
Not you,
that's great. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, if you missed it yesterday, CHGO Sports has teamed up with Loyola Basketball this season. They were out there yesterday for the big win over Princeton. Stick it to those dumb Ivy Leaguers.
Yeah.
Loyola's taking on
Polo
Chicago
jerks.
State on Sunday, the 14th at 4 p.m. at Gentile Arena in Rogers Park. It's a great way to start off the new year as the Ramblers host the A-10 opponents in Dayton on Saturday, January 3rd, followed by another home game against Davidson on January 7th. Come out and support Loyola Basketball. Tickets are starting as low as $15. And if you go to ramblertickets.com and use the code CHGO, you can get yourself $5 off those Loyola Rambler basketball tickets, which are a hot item after their 2-game win streak now. Powered by CHGO. Apparently.
Hell
yeah.
Kyle Davidson's going to take on the Loyola basketball team by himself.
Hey,
It's going to be tough.
He needs to be out there making better trades.
He's got a
scrappy
scrappy attitude to go 1-on-5.
God almighty.
He's gonna have a height disadvantage in that game.
Yes. Hey, Spud Webb did it.
It happens.
All right, just to recap, draft picks next year. The Hawks have 2 firsts, 3 seconds, a third, a fourth, and a
They're
seventh.
going to have a third
First
rounder.
pick, yeah.
Because if you haven't noticed, the reason why Kyle Davidson gets a whole bunch of second rounders is so he could trade them all and get back in the first round.
Correct.
That's what he does.
Yes, he does.
It's his game plan. So, yeah, that's fine. And a dandy. I think this is a really good time to take a deep breath.
Let's talk about more restaurants.
Pull back from the last 24 hours for a minute, which were pure crap.
Yep.
And take a look at the big picture again. Because that's where I think Jeff Blashill has done a really good job this year. Because there's been some games where I've been like, oh, I wanted to go full meatball and be like, oh, God. And then he says, well, blah, blah, blah. These are 2 of 82 games. 2 bad of 82 games, yes. But with the 29 games into the season, 30 points, 1 point out of a wild card spot, 5 points out of third place in the Central Division. I don't think anybody thought they would be here at this position. When we were sitting here making our season predictions before the season started, nobody would have thought, hey, a week into December and the Hawks are still in playoff contention. Right there for it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you pull back big picture, these 2 games suck, but the Hawks are in a very good spot. The rebuild is, it's not a success yet, but it's definitely trending in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
You just mentioned all those guys that, are already playing here. How many first-round picks are in the NHL right now? Quite a few. The only recent ones are the guys from last year and Kevin Korchinski. Otherwise, they're here. They're playing.
Right.
And they're being effective. We've seen Artem Levshunov progress greatly from night 1 to today. He's getting better. Sam Renzel, he's kind of head the other direction, but rookie defenseman, that's what you can have.
Hey, made a really nice play today.
He did. He made that really nice stick lift that prevented it from being
saved a goal.
From being 8-1 instead of 7-1. He should have tackled Alex Killorn on another play, but that's another. Who cares?
He tried to.
He's a try harder. He went to the Bears school of learning how to tackle today.
Too soon.
Big picture, this is fine. Like it's okay to be upset about watching this team play like crap when they've played well for much of the season, but there's still a long way to go. This team has progressed rather well. So now it's time to, figure it out. You got a day off tomorrow. They'll be on the practice ice Tuesday, no doubt about that. It'll probably be an intense practice. Get your workout in, and then you're back to work. You got 3 games next week. Wednesday night, the Rangers are in town. That's a beatable team.
Yes.
Friday, you go back to St. Louis. The last time you were in St. Louis, you won 8-3, and you flip that national narrative. And then the Red Wings come to town, a team you've already beat. But oh no, it's the second half of a back-to-back. I guess you just chalk that up to a loss already. Things are okay. Things are fine. Like, these 2 games sucked. But big picture, the Blackhawks are in a better spot than all of us thought they would be. And, hey, if they go out on Wednesday night to the Rangers and get their doors blown off again and lose 6-0 again, all right, maybe it's time to be like, okay, what the hell is going on here? But getting back on home ice, getting regrouped, I fully expect this team on Wednesday to have a much better game.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it for a lot of reasons, but I'm also kind of looking forward to the fact that the Rangers are going to be wearing their blue Centennial jerseys too, so you're going to have the red versus blue.
Yeah.
So no matter how bad the hockey is, it's going to look really cool.
That's true.
You got to take your small victories.
The other thing too, and this is, I guess this would be quantified as an excuse. They haven't had a lot of time to practice on this road trip. There's been a lot of travel. There's been they need to get a few days here to get some practices in. They're off tomorrow. This is official now to the media schedule. But again, they're landing at 5 a.m. And what are you going to accomplish by putting them on the ice tomorrow? So they practice Tuesday at 11. I don't know what bag skating them is going to do.
Vomit.
So they vomit, and then what?
Yeah.
And then they're going to say they're going to say
grow up.
Is that how it works?
You go out and vomit and grow up.
I will. Give me some gluten. Jeff Blashill,
Did you grow up after our remote?
When you get your butt kicked on the scoreboard 2 nights in a row like that, and tonight was a total whooping, your confidence slips, but this is a big boy league, man. You've got to have mental toughness, and you've got to find a way to get it back.
That's it.
Grow up.
There it is right there. We're going to hear from Jeff Blashill.
I know this team's young,
bit.
but how much of that leash do you have left, right? Like, I know you've mentioned all the prospects that aren't here. I get it, but the guys that are here, figure it out.
Yeah,
well,
I just look. There are some things we can consider here, right? If we want to get granular on what the fixes are, do you give Sam Renzel a couple games in Rockford and give Korchinski a look here? I'm fine with that. Do you call up Nick Lardis? You scored 1 goal in the last 2 games. Okay, like none of this stuff is. Here's what I say: none of these things would be objectionable to me. I also don't think that any of those things are going to fix what is going wrong right now. I think they are Band-Aids. I said this last week when we were talking calling up Lardis after another not great loss. It's like, you don't want to call these guys up and say, things are horrible right now. We're calling you up at age 22 and you up at age 21 to come and fix this.
Right.
That's not a good situation to put a young player in. So ideally, you probably wait until things get back on track. Greg mentioned it. The upcoming schedule, it's potentially there for you to get back on track. Right? Like, it's there. The opportunity exists to get back on track. So win a game or 2, even if it's not a win, have a good performance, and then maybe you consider doing something. But I think right now, anything that would be like calling up Lardis, calling up Korchinski, and sending down Renzel could be perceived as sort of a panic move. And I don't think, despite 2 horrible losses in a row, we're at a panic stage just yet. They're a point out of the playoffs.
No, I agree. And listen, the help is going to come from inside the room. Like, there's not going to be a big trade coming. They're not going to trade off assets to bring in some rental players. It's not a thing. Right. Maybe you call up Lardis. He's been fantastic these last few games. He kind of had a struggle there when Oliver Moore first got called up, but in your guys, Samuel Savoie, he got promoted to the top line and had 3 goals in 2 games playing with Nick Lardis. So
if he doesn't get a shot this year, I don't know when it's going to be.
I think if when you call up Lardis, it needs to be he's here to be here, like he did with Nazar, like it's looking like he did with Oliver Moore. And could Nick Lardis get called up and stay here? Sure.
Yeah.
If they think he's ready for that, then go for it. It's not going to hurt anything. But this team, this group, these 18 guys that went out and got their teeth kicked down their throat the last 5 periods, they're the ones that have to figure it out.
Right.
They need to be better. They need to play within their structure. They need to stop skating around a defensive zone with no direction and pretending the puck is a live hand grenade every time they get it and just flick it away from them as quickly as possible, usually right to an opposing player. They need to, get there. Like you make the analogy a lot about the duck.
I did last game.
Under the water, over, it's a good night to use it tonight against the Ducks. But yes, with the feet moving 100 miles an hour, that's what's going on right now. And they just need to kind of regroup and get back to what they've done so many times this season. So does it mean you shake up the lines? Sure, I go for shaking up the lines.
Yeah.
Change it up. But it's going to be these guys that are here right now that are going to be the ones that figure out how to turn this bad 2 games. 2 games of 82.
Cheeks.
The Buns. 2 games before this, we were talking about how well they played in Vegas and deserved to win that game. And wow, what a great way they held on, and they had a great character-building win against the Kings. We're only a couple of days removed from those games.
Right.
So it's not like they've lost their last 7 games, gotten blown out. It's 2 of 82. These guys need to get back to doing whatever it was that all those things they were doing that made these things successful. They have to it's up to them. It's not coming from elsewhere. So do you switch up, do you put Bedard and Nazar on a line together against the Rangers? See, it gets a little something going there. Do you put Bertuzzi back up with Bedard? Maybe put Burakovsky down the lineup.
Burakovsky has escaped criticism. He's not done
not
much
been
of anything
good.
very much. I know maybe he's banged up, but
he's probably not
you're on the
100%.
roster, so
but yeah,
play.
he's not been great. Go crazy. Put Bedard out there with Moore and Nazar on Wednesday. See what happens.
Yeah.
That's the shakeup that's going to come. It's going to be making a line change. Maybe you go to 12-6 and you have Sam Rinzel sit a game. Sam Rinzel struggling right now. Sam Rinzel, not the sole reason they lost 7-1 tonight. You mentioned if they send him down to Rockford, you bring up Korchinski. Korchinski's been good. I would personally send him down and bring up Adel Mastro and Allen.
Sure.
Because they've really struggled in the last couple of games with getting guys out from in front of the net. So maybe a guy like Nolan Allen would make sure Corey Perry wasn't standing there all by himself.
I also think, too, that guys like that maybe won't feel the immediate pressure that those guys will, that the more offensive-minded guys would feel, too. Like, Korchinski and Lardis are going to feel like, I got to come in here and put points on the board.
I got to score.
Whereas Del Mastro's job is, I'm going to go get this guy out of the way of the goalie and get the puck out of the zone quickly.
Yeah.
And be so yeah, it's not a bad idea. I think it was Blackhawks Hall said it in the chat. I can paraphrase if you can't find it, Chloe, but something along the lines of, and just kind of a counterpoint to the call up being a panic move, as we sort of talked about. It could be viewed as a consequence move. And saying, look, if you're here and you're not going to, there it is. Yeah, Blackhawks Hall says, I don't think it's a panic move. It shows players that if they aren't going to put in effort, they're easily replaced by the guy below them who then wants it more. So that I mean, that's kind of the counterpoint. That's not a bad point at all, Blackhawks Hall, because it does send a message of accountability. Like, okay, you're young and you're good, and we believe in you as an organization, but just because of those things and just because you've had early success, I mean, it doesn't mean anything is guaranteed for you here. So I don't know. I could see that argument as well.
Yeah, internal competition is a good thing. It forces guys to find better versions of themselves if they know that their spot is on the line. It's the same thing we talk about through, training camp and preseason. Like, there's roster battles and who's gonna make the team, who's not, and there's still that air of not everything is guaranteed to these guys. Just because you are a top prospect and because you are a young player and because you are a part of the rebuild doesn't mean things can be or should be handed to you. You got to go out and earn it. So if there's other guys that are going to, work their way up from Rockford, I wouldn't bat an eye at the organization going that direction at this point and being like, all right, like let's see who wants it and who wants to be in the NHL. Like, we've had this 28, 29 game run with this group. Maybe this is an opportunity to kind of, rattle the cage a little bit and say, like, hey, let's have a reality check here that this is the NHL and there is a standard to be met night in and night out. And if you're not meeting it, we'll try and find somebody else who is.
All right, do we want to hear from Jeff Blashill?
Yes,
I would
like to hear.
This is Jeff Blashill, post-game courtesy of the Chicago Blackhawks.
You guys started this trip with two of your best road games of the year, and then you ended with these two. How does that happen?
Well, that's the ebb and flow of the league. I mean, they got beaten 9-1 a couple of games ago, and then they killed us tonight. That's it's the ebb and flow of the league for sure. I've seen more of it this year than probably other years. Everybody's so close that when you're off your game, it's a tough night. And obviously tonight, different. I think this was way different than last night. I told you I thought last night, at least like at first period, I thought we were the better team for sure. Tonight, from the start to the finish, they were clearly the better team.
Second half of back-to-back in Buffalo and now here.
Yeah.
Is that something you'll have to address?
Yeah, I mean, both of them we were really, really bad. Our two worst games of the year were those two back-to-backs, and that's inexcusable. Neither one of them were that hard to travel, and we got more coming. So we have to figure out a way to be better on the back-to-backs. Last night ended bad, but the feeling from the last night to the night to me isn't comparable. I was the two games that have been the most disappointed in our team was this game and the Buffalo game. So we got to find a way to be way better in those back-to-backs.
What was the mood like in the third period on the bench? Like, do you sense confidence deflated a little bit?
For when you get your butt kicked, on the scoreboard for sure, 2 nights in a row like that, and tonight was a total whooping. Your confidence slips, but this is a big boy league, man. You got to have mental toughness. You got to find a way to get back at it on Tuesday. So we got to get out of here, fly home, and get back at it on Tuesday. But there's lessons to be learned. You can't, the one thing I've been impressed with this team is they've learned lessons. This is, a time where it felt like they didn't learn the lesson from Buffalo.
Do you have any concerns they'll be able to bounce back from these?
Well, I think, it's never easy. Like, you got to grind your way back. So we'll get tested again by a really good team on Wednesday. So we better find a way to kind of grind our way back. And it starts with just doing the simple things right, making sure you're competing, making sure that you're I don't want to say working, everybody work, but the compete level needs to be high. And then structurally, you got to rely on your structure when you don't have it. And that's something we got to keep getting better at.
All right, that's Jeff Blashill, courtesy of the Blackhawks. So let's kind of end the show talking about him here, because all respect to him, he's gotten this team to success faster than a lot of people thought they would be. Whether you believe it's sustainable or not, the fact remains that they have been at or near playoff position the entire season. They're above 500. You've got Bedard playing at MVP level. All these things you already know because you're watching the show. I don't need to list every friggin' fact every time I speak. You know this already. But one thing he said when we talked to him, I believe this was us, Mario, we talked to Blashill, said, like, one of the things I learned in Detroit was that I can't, if things are going poorly for a couple games, I can't just panic and change everything and try to change the system and try to mix up the lines. And, like, you got to have a little bit of patience. I'm wondering if these two games will test his patience in that regard a little bit. And also, this is like the first real wave of controversy or adversity that's hit this team yet. And now he's really got to do some hard coaching. And whether you believe it's a bag skate, whatever you think it might be, maybe it's a really long and awful film session, which can be worse than a bag skate. To be physically singled out is pretty bad. This is his big first test as Hawks head coach, is how to get this thing turned around.
Yeah, I mean, it's so far in implementing a structure and a system and a culture and all that. Like, that's the first things that he was trying to accomplish. And I think through the first 29 games, like that was accomplished. And especially through, the start of the season, things have felt different. Players have felt engaged in it, and the results were coming from it. So now it's, when you've lost some of that, how do you get it back? And I think this is a moment where I'm actually glad that there is a coach like Jeff Blashill in place. And I know we all were on the train of hiring David Carl, but I think where the team is at right now, in the standings and where the expectations have been raised, I think is in large part due to how Jeff Blashill has approached this season, because he's been around the block in the NHL, and he's learned from rough times in Detroit, and then being in an organization in Tampa that had Stanley Cup aspirations and operated as such. He's seen both ends of the spectrum in the NHL, with being at the bottom of the league and being at the top of the league. So I'm glad that he is in a position now to try and exercise some of those lessons that he's supposedly learned as a coach. Like, let's see it. Let's see. Is it the lineup changes? Is it the roster change? Is it, all these different tactics that you can go through? But I think it's going to come down to finding a way to get the players in positions to find that confidence again. And that can only go so far from the coach. The players are the ones that are on the ice playing the game, making executing or making the mistakes. So I think with Blashill, there's so many buttons he can push, and he's going to have the control board in front of him. The players are going to have to respond to it.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned him saying that he learned and he can't swap out the lines just because things, don't necessarily work. I think this is a different situation. I think he's probably like referring to, well, if we lose like 2 games in a row, 3-2 in overtime, that's probably not the time to change things. We've seen him do that. Like, we've had coaches here that after every loss, you automatically got to change the lines.
Right.
But he's kind of,
One of them won 3 cups, though.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
Yeah,
even with
seriously.
Q, it was like, oh, they lost. Expect a different line tomorrow.
Or bad period.
But I think, had they lost 4 games in a row, even during that 5-game losing streak, when there was only one like atrocious game out of those 5, he didn't change a lot. But you lose these 2 games, you change something.
Yeah.
If anything, to send a message to win the locker room, like, hey, that wasn't good enough, Andre Burakovsky. You're no longer on the top line. If Oliver Moore's been your best player these last 2 games, put him on the top line. If it doesn't work, guess what? You can change it at any point during the game. This is where you send your messages. And lots of head coaches have said, Derek King told us, Andre Sorensen said it before, the best way to send your messages to your players is with their playing time.
Yes. Well, hey.
That's the best way to tell a player that you're not playing good enough for me right now by cutting his minutes.
Well, he said it himself.
Yes.
5 on 4 is a privilege. 4 on 5 is, 5 on 6 is a privilege. Like being on the ice with the empty net. All these things are things that are earned, and that is the biggest currency a coach has. Yes, is playing time.
So this might be a time to play that card. And okay, you weren't good enough these last 2 games. I'm going to put someone up there in that spot that was good enough. And that's what's going to have to take to get out of this little funk here is nobody's coming to save this team. There's no trade coming. There's no big name out there. They have to figure it out. Blashill said it. We have to figure it out. Well, it's going to start with him to get the most out of his team, get them whatever happened these last 5 periods with the effort level. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's embarrassing. They embarrassed themselves the last 5 periods of hockey.
Well, yeah.
And that was on the heels of playing 7 really good periods of road hockey against good teams.
Yeah.
That's what's surprising about this is within the same game, they went from playing very good structured hockey to playing complete ass.
Yeah, something happened in the first
same
intermission
game.
yesterday or 2 days. Yeah,
and it carried over in today for whatever reason. So these games are over. You move on.
Yeah.
You can't sit here and dwell on these games. You take the day off tomorrow. You regroup. You figure it out. You hit the ice Tuesday for practice. Wednesday is a new game. You can't have this carryover. You've got the Rangers in town. Take your frustrations out on them.
100%.
Lots of other teams have done that this year.
Yes.
Be one of those teams.
Exactly right. And look, like the players are expecting something. I don't think that they think that for Wednesday's game, these lines are going to be the same and minutes are going to be the same. And they don't think Tuesday's practice is going to be another routine practice. I don't think that's the case. I don't think they expect that. And I think they don't want that. I think the players want an answer. They want a solution. And they're probably looking to this coaching staff to say, help? Like, you know what I mean? Like, look, effort is one thing, execution is one thing, but losing structure, these are sort of things that these coaches have to pound into. They're called drills for a reason because they drills it into your head on where to be and when to be there and all those sort of things. So
that's why they called that? I never knew.
Yes.
Wow.
See? Look at that. The more you know.
Learn something.
Man,
So
that's
yeah.
smart.
All right. We are going to be back tomorrow.
We have a lot of super chats.
Oh, yeah. Good Lord. All right. We'll do that.
In overtime.
Hit the overtime button. We're going to go to overtime. So if you're watching us on the fast channels, that is Samsung or Roku or whatever those things are, make sure whatever else there is, I forget them all.
They're fast.
The fast channels, yes. Come back to YouTube or allchgo.com to finish the show. Okay, History Racer 22. Again, thank you for the super chat yesterday. Sorry we missed it.
We couldn't ignore him
Says
2 days in a row.
shake my effing head. Real test for Blashill now fixing a sinking ship.
It's not a sinking.
Yeah, I think fixing a sinking ship is a little bit of an overstatement, but that's what fans are. I get it. I understand. Pip Hastings, $2 says, I have missed Angry Jay. I love it. Bring Noodle Man. No, we do not get Noodle Man unless the Hawks win.
Noodle Man's only for a good
That
man.
is loser mentality.
Yes.
He's right over there. He's very limp.
We put him in a cage.
Yes.
He won't be released from the cage until the Blackhawks win.
Ryan, $10 says, we appreciate you. Jay, is Greg back permanently?
That's not what it says.
What?
Is Great G, bad K.
Oh, well, he gave us $10, so I didn't want to call out his grammar errors, but that's fine.
Hey,
how I
Great
read it.
G.
G's not back permanently.
Yeah, we are very hopeful that will happen
Never know.
soon. Yes.
More super chats, you said.
Yeah,
That's
can't hurt.
That helps.
That's true.
Healer 1515 says we need more spit and vinegar on this team. Yep,
Need more
certainly the
smelling
last two
salts,
games.
that's what it is.
That's no doubt. $20 from Kat Klein says, can we take a deep breath and objectively break down what happened the last two games? Offer thoughts on how to move forward.
I think that's what we
that. Yeah, I
did
think
over the
we've-
last 6
That was
minutes.
early in the show.
I think so. Yeah. Corey, $5 super chat says this was an awful game, but it's better than being stuck in a mediocrity treadmill. Keep the faith, y'all. The future is bright. Thank you,
That's what
Corey.
I have in my basement for working out.
And-
Mediocrity treadmill.
Yeah, that's why I don't use treadmills or anything. Z Vieira Fishing again says, let's forget the game. New topic, tours or places to see. Promised my girlfriend we would. Side note, she has no idea how cold it's going
Well,
to
you
be.
should tell her.
January
Yeah,
is
it's going to be cold.
January is going to be
Might want to get a jacket.
not the greatest time to be in Chicago, but
Yeah, because it's after Christmas.
yes, there's lots of places to go see.
Field Museum is my
Yes,
favorite
I was
of the
gonna say the
museums.
museums. Field Museum or Museum of Science and Industry
Yeah.
are all good. The Art Institute is awesome. Any of the museums, they're all world class, and you'll learn a thing like why they call them drills.
If it's not awful, if it's not awfully cold, the river tour, architecture tour is awesome. The Wendella boats and what are the other ones? The other name of the other company's escaping me, but they all do a great job. They take it down the north and south branch of the river, tell you the history of the city and the buildings and everything.
Are those
It's also very cool.
are those covered tours?
I think they cover them in the winter.
Okay,
Yeah,
I hope so.
I think
would
so.
hope
I would hope so.
I
I would
think
not
so.
advise going on a boat on the Chicago River in January.
You never know.
Suck it
Even
up.
for the
Suck it up,
architecture
Buttercup.
tour.
There's,
Put a
there's
coat on.
climate change. It could be 71
Oh,
degrees.
sure.
in
Of
January.
You never know.
Of course.
You never
Of
know.
course. Yeah. I had an idea. Going to, again, if the weather's not terrible, Millennium Park or Maggie Daly Park, going to skate down
the
in that
ribbon.
area. That would be a lot of fun. If you know how to skate, even if you don't, it's a good time.
They've got they got the penguins
Yeah,
for
get a
you there if you
little
need
little
them.
push cart.
It's interesting because part of it is uphill.
Yeah,
The Maggie Daly ribbon is uphill,
yeah,
downhill.
that one can
Fun,
be a
though.
challenge, but yeah, it's definitely that's what I would recommend.
Yeah.
Hard to have a bad time any season in Chicago.
Yeah,
I'd
there's
say.
really I one thing I'll say too is the University of Chicago campus in Hyde Park. Hyde Park's a place where a lot of tourists don't know about. University of Chicago is maybe the prettiest part of Chicago aside from, the Magnificent Mile and all those places, but Hyde Park, University of Chicago, there's great restaurants in Hyde Park. Medici is one of my favorites, and 57th Street Books is going into it's like a time capsule in that place. It's amazing. There's so much to do in Hyde Park. You really can't go wrong. See something at the Chicago Theater.
Yeah.
It's one of the best sound venues in the city. You're going to have fun here.
How come you guys didn't tell me any of this when I got
You didn't
here?
ask.
You didn't ask.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Well, you didn't pay us.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
so
right.
you didn't
give us a
That's what it
Send a
is.
super chat. Next show, we'll tell you all about it.
Okay, perfect.
Exactly. Do we get all of them? Is that the last one?
Believe so.
All right, beautiful. Okay, now we're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to do a Mailbag Monday show, so get those questions in. We have found the password to the Blackhawks email, so if you want to email us, blackhawks@allchgo.com. If you're a diehard, hit us up in the Diehards Only Discord as usual. And by the way, just because Black Friday and Cyber Monday are over, our $36 diehard membership is still active with our code HAWKS. So go to allchgo.com, use that code HAWKS, $36 for the year. And once again, Sam is flirting with Chloe in the chat.
Again.
Oh, that's yours. That's a question for you, Chloe.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to do. You talk to Sam.
Someone's in love.
Very quickly, Chloe. Sam says, Chloe, we can go ice skating, and Chloe quickly throws the Hawks email into the chat. Coincidence? We'll see.
All right.
Maybe we're making a love connection.
Take pepper spray, just in case.
Take smelling salts.
And the smelling salts. Yeah.
One of those two will keep them away.
I wonder if it would hurt if
Yes.
to have smelling salts in your eyes.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
absolutely.
yeah.
Okay, I wasn't
There's a
sure.
warning on the bottle
Yeah.
that says,
Oh, there
"Do
is?
not let it touch your eyes or skin."
Well, I don't know.
Even though you tried to make
you've
that
done,
happen.
You've done smelling salts
basically did.
more than any of us. Yeah.
Not more
I
than
mean,
Sarah.
it burns
Well,
your
yeah.
eyes just through the
She
nostrils. I
caught
can't
up.
imagine what
Yeah.
you do direct.
All of the
directly
hairs
into
in my
your
nose
eyeballs.
burned off.
I had to change my contact lenses when I got home.
Oof, it wasn't that bad.
Yikes.
Oh, okay.
All right.
What?
That's a tough nuts.
Once
That's
you-
Greg.
Once you follow the directions correctly.
Yeah.
Reading is a skill.
I agree.
All right. Mailbag Monday. Talk to you tomorrow. Showtime is changing to 3 o'clock. I was told that today.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 3 o'clock showtimes from here on out. So it just makes more sense.
Extra half hour of Bears coverage for the rest of this season.
You got to get that 8th postgame show in.
All right, sounds good.
It's brick by brick by brick.
That doesn't affect my day at all. Have fun with that.
Yes. All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 3 on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast presented by Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.